Can you hear me, my people?
The champ is here.
Champ is here.
The champ is here.
The champ is
The
here.
champ is here. The champ is here. The champ is here.
Yeah,
The champ is here. The champ is here. The champ is here.
the champ is here.
The champ is here. The champ is here. The champ is here. The champ is here. The champ is here. The champ is here.
The champ is here. I'm here, my people. I apologize for inconveniences. But we here. Getting things started the right way. What is good? What is going on, YouTube? It's your boy Alkaline City, and I'm in the building. You already know. Let's, know what I'm saying? We lighting it up all day, dropping bombs on them. Absolutely right. Absolutely right. It is only right. It is only right. It's been a long time, my people. It's been a long time. 2023, and we back. And we back. And not only are we back, but we better than ever. We back, and we better than ever. That's what's up. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So I just want to hold on for 1 second. So I just want to talk to the people 1 second, 1 second. We're getting a lot of cheering in the back. We're getting a lot of round of applause. You know what I'm saying? One more time, one more time. Lighting it up for everybody. Okay? So what's going on? Happy New Year, everybody. Alkaline City is back for 2023. We're here to heal. We're here to teach. You know, we're going to do a lot of good things for 2023. And I'm proud to be back. I'm proud to be a Sabian. I'm proud to be part of the Alkaline community. And I'm ready to rumble with everybody who is on this live stream today. Okay? Not only is this a world premiere, but this is going to be the only world premiere. I got the world premiere of a decade. Okay? I got the world premiere of a century. I got the world premiere of a millennium. You know why? Not only do I got a world premiere, but I got the special guest for my world premiere. No, I'm not talking about Jay-Z. No, I'm not saying Beyonce put a ring on it. No way. No, this is not Donald Trump. No, it's not Joe Biden. No, we don't have Kamala Harris. You know, no, we don't have Little Uzi Vert. We don't have Kendrick Lamar. No, we don't have Dr.Sebi. We don't have Dr.Sebi back from the dead. I wish we did. You know, that would have been the ultimate guest besides all of those other people. But besides all of those other people, I got the next best thing to Dr.Sebi. The next best thing. This person that I got on today's show, you might not know this person, but most of you do know this person, okay? If you've went to YouTube and if you've Googled Dr.Sebi and you saw a Dr.Sebi video, this person is the reason why you saw a Dr.Sebi video. This person is the reason Dr.Sebi is on YouTube. You understand? This is a role model to me. This person is a mentor to me. This is a person that I aspire to be one day in my life. This is a person I look up to, you know? And this person is a very humble person, just like the late, great Dr.Sebi. Just as humble and just as important to us nowadays without Dr.Sebi being here, okay? And, you know, I don't know what to say. are lost for words having this personality on my show today as my world premiere. This is telling you it's only going to get better from here, right? And with that being said, I don't want to talk no more, but I want to introduce everybody, and let me clap it up. You know what I'm saying? Because we need a round of applause. We need a round of applause. We need some guns. We need some fire. We need some fire. Fire. We need some fire. You know what I mean? We need a bomb drop for this. We need an explosion for this. Because I'm about to give you guys, not only am I about to give you guys the ultimate, but I'm going to give you the one, the only, Mr. G. Yo, yo, yo. Mr. G, my brother. Are you here with me?
Peace, King. What up?
Peace, King. Peace, my brother. We are live, everybody. We got Mr. G, a.k.a. Well, it's Aberlado Guerrero, a.k.a. Mr. G. This is the author of the inspiring book, My Journey with Dr.Sebi. And we're going to get into that. Why did he have a journey with Dr.Sebi? How did he have a journey with Dr.Sebi? You know, and I'm just gonna ask a few questions, but I just want to just shoot it off one more time for him because he deserves it. Hold on for 1 second. That's right. That's right. We gonna bust our guns today. We gonna bust our guns for my brother, the one and only Aberlado Guerrero, a.k.a. Mr. G.
Peace,
Clap
King,
it up,
peace.
clap it up, clap it up, clap it up. So, Mr. G, what's up, my brother?
All good, man. Thank you for having me. I appreciate this opportunity to voice my story on your platform. Peace, King. How you been?
Pretty good, my brother. So, we're gonna get it started with this, right? We're gonna get it started with first of all, Mr. G, tell the people where you from.
I was born and raised in Brooklyn, but my family's from Honduras, so I'm 100% Garifu now. Even though I was born in Brooklyn, didn't learn to speak English till I was about 6, 7 years old. I was raised in Bronzeville, Brooklyn, so salute to all my people in the projects.
Salute. We gotta bust our guns. We gotta bust our guns for Brownsville. So Mr. G's from Brownsville, Brooklyn. That's what's up, Mr. G. And how was it growing up in Brooklyn as a kid?
Yo, it was good, man. I don't have no complaints. We didn't know we ain't have nothing until we left the hood. I have friends. It was a lot of beef around, but I was playing ball all my life, so I never really got caught up in all of that. So I can't complain about my childhood. I have amazing friends that I'm still friends with to this day.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So now, right? How old are you, Mr. G? I know I'm 44 years old. I know we're pretty much probably about the same age.
I'm 53.
53. Okay. So yep, you got me by 6, 7, 8, 9 years. So
9 years.
9 years. That's what's up. So with that being said, right? You being a little bit older than me, you grew up in the 80s era like me, in the New York, Brooklyn crack era.
I grew up in the 70s and the 80s. In the 80s, I graduated high school in the 80s in 1987. So that's when I left the hood. So when crack was really kicking in, I was in South Carolina.
You was already in South Carolina. You said, I'm getting the hell up out of here.
Yeah,
So-
I graduated and I was gone.
So so you're from Brownsville, right?
Yes, sir.
So now in Brownsville, we had something called the low life era.
Yeah, speaking of the low life, salute to my man Thurston Howell III. That's my brother, man. We grew up together. And for you to even mention low life is so crazy because Thurston Howell was the first one to ever give me a coat back in the days. Because I went to his crib because I was in his sister Melissa class. So I went to his crib and my mom's, it was seven of us. So we didn't have name brand coats, but we had coats. So Thurston Howell, his name is Victor. I know him as Victor.
Victor.
Um, yeah, Vic saw my coat and started jonesing on me. He said, "Yo, man, take that coat off." And he gave me my first bubble goose. So salute to Thurston Howell III. That's my brother.
Salutes to the low lives. Salute, shout outs to Thurston Howard III. Mr. G
Yep.
grew up with him in Brownsville. That's amazing because growing up, right, in Brooklyn,
Mm-hmm.
low was everything. Low was everything. You know what I'm
Facts.
saying? So it's crazy because your first coat was a polo goose. Give it
Yep. By the Puerto Rican.
by the Polo Rican. That's crazy. That's crazy. So I
And
wanna
that's a fact.
and that's a fact. And you know what's so crazy, right? That if he gave you a polo goose back then, was it a suicide goose?
I don't even know what a suicide goose is. I just know I had to lie to my mother and
All right, the
tell her
suicide,
that my aunt gave it to me
the
because she
suicide.
thought nothing stolen could come in my crib.
Okay. So the suicide goose was the one of the first polo gooses, the one that had has like sort of like a flag, and it got the, what do you call that, when the silhouette of the skier, a white skier. He's like skiing down the mountain. It's just a white shadow, like a silhouette
Oh,
of a white
all I,
skier.
all I knew it was navy blue. It had polo on it, and I got the rocket for one summer. I mean, for one winter until my mom's find out that my aunt didn't give it to me. Then I had to give it away.
Oh man. So for everybody who doesn't know that what we're talking about, right? This was a time for Brooklyn people. This was a time for New York. It was called the low life era. And the guy he's talking about, which is Mr. G's friend, good friend growing up, Thurston Howard III, Victor. He's also a rapper that goes by Thurston Howard III. He is one of the founders.
He's a he's a brand ambassador for polo as well.
He's a brand ambassador for Polo. He's a rapper. He came a long way. He started as a group. They everybody considered them a gang from Brooklyn. They were called the Low Lives. They started in the mid to late 80s, going into the early 90s. Right, Mr. G?
Yes, sir. Yes,
About,
sir.
if I'm not correct, about 86, 87 it started.
Yep, right before I graduated from high school, Bronzeville was Victor's. He was actually one of the brothers that made it safe for me to walk through the hood with no problem because he was like, "Yo, that's my man Aberlado, nobody touch him." So I walked through, come from basketball practice, never had any issues because I wasn't caught up in that crew. And the way I know Victor or Thurston Howe, because his sister Melissa and I was in the same class, and my best friend Winnie lived in the same building Thurston lived. I don't know if you're familiar with Marcus Garvey Projects.
Yeah,
It's one family on the bottom and one family on the top. Well, Thurston was on the first floor, and my man Winnie was on the second floor. So I went in and out of his building damn near every day. So that's how him and I got cool.
oh, okay. So Marcus Garvey houses, that's right there across from Livonia, right?
Yes, sir. It actually is on Livonia. Is on it. It starts from Christopher Street all the way to Saratoga, and then it goes to from Dumont all the way to Hegeman, I believe.
So right there, right? I believe Saratoga meets Livonia, right? That's where the train station is at.
Yes, sir. The 3 train and the 4 train at nighttime.
Man, so I got a story for you about that because
Who robbed you? Who robbed you at that time? Did they get you?
almost, not Rob. I put it like this: I probably wouldn't have been here speaking to you as we speak, right? So what happened was, right, I started doing security when I was 16 and a half.
In Bronzeville?
I started doing it for my friends and family. They had like a construction coalition, right? And they would just hire all of us hood young kids to do construction. We was getting like $25 an hour, just going in and just picking up rocks.
That was good money back then. That was good money back then.
Real good money. We thought we were ballers. We thought we were rich, and this we were just going to we were called laborers. We just go on the job site and pick up rocks and dump the rocks and sweep the dust on the construction sites, right? So before we started doing the construction for the coalition, me and my brother started doing security, right? And this is when right across the street from Saratoga and Livonia, the 3 train, they started I guess those little like or sort of like brownstone buildings. But
the Nehemiah houses.
I believe that's what they call them.
Yeah.
So the Nehemiah houses, right? So
yes, sir.
They were just building those, right? So because that was part of the job site, our job was to go sit inside this little booth. It looks like back in the days, the phone booth.
I know exactly what you're talking about. Some of the ones that wasn't grounded, people used to knock them over. No heat. I know exactly what you're talking about.
That's crazy because one of my workers was sitting in there and dude from the neighborhood came and pushed him down. No,
I know exactly what you're talking about.
It's so crazy. It's one little door. So when they pushed him down, they pushed him
He
down.
locked in there.
They pushed him down on the door.
That's exactly the case. To lock him in there until somebody come let him out.
Oh my God. He was catching a heart attack, screaming, calling the bosses, calling me, calling all the workers on the phone. Are you working today? Are you coming to Livonia? Get me out. Get me out. They knocked me down. They knocked me down. I'm trapped.
And the funny part about that, he lucky he had a phone. The ones who didn't have a phone had to wait until their workers, their co-workers came. And if somebody let them out before their workers came, that person had beef. That was entertainment in the hood.
And G, you're not lying, because at that time, that was when Sprint first started. And Sprint,
there you go.
You had the Sprint.
Not everybody had a phone.
Not everybody had a phone. The Sprint flip phones. You see, I don't want to. I was one of those dudes in New York. You give me the phone, and I get the phone on for you, and I give you. One of my boys gave me the code, and
you probably got my $50 because every time my burner went out, I went and bought another one. You probably got some money.
Yeah.
Some of my money back in the days. They was charging $50.
That's what I was charging, $50 to turn it on. And
brother, you talking my language. You probably got some of my money back in the days.
I'm telling you, because one of my boys, he was turning phones on, and he was like, yo, Alkaline, you my man. He was like, yo, let me put you on to what I'm doing. He gave me the formula. He was like, write it down. He's like, first you do this, you press the star button, you go to 1, and he was showing me how to connect the phones. So I started doing that, $50 taking a phone. And if the phone cut off, I would charge you $15 to $25 to jump it on, just depending who you are. Was jumping phones on. The first connections I was doing was staying on for like a year and a half. And I was jumping people off for about 3 years. 3 years.
And that's that time when it was free after 9 o'clock. But you already know the people who had the jump phones, who they was on the phone all day. You're like, he must got a burner.
Yeah, you got 1,000 minutes, free night times and weekends.
There you go.
Yeah, you already know. Damn.
That's my era.
That was the times. So that's what happened. My coworker, he had one of the burners that I jumped on for him.
So that saved him.
That saved him. Now my situation, right? I was in the booth, right? And all of a sudden, I see this guy flying past me. he's coming down. I believe that was Livonia. He was coming down, or was Saratoga. He was coming down the street. I believe that was Livonia. And
Was the train over his head?
when he came down the block, I was right at the corner. And as soon as you come down the block, because and my booth was right at the corner too. So right under me, when you coming down this way, the cross street, the train was right there over my head. Yep.
Yeah, so that's Livonia. That's
Yep.
Livonia.
Yep. So he was running down Livonia. He skated past me. So I'm like, oh, when I'm thinking about it, I'm like, oh, he saw the train coming. You know how I used to see the train from like 2 blocks away and you start running for it?
Flying for it, yeah.
Flying. So I'm thinking, all right, this dude, he about to catch the train. I'm like, damn, he gone. I'm like, he might get it. He might get it. So I'm looking up for the train. All of a sudden, I see one dude just, and I'm looking through the booth, right? I'm looking through the window. I see one dude just fly right past me, but stop, like right next to my booth. All of a sudden, I see 4 more guys coming right behind him. I'm like, oh, they was probably chasing this kid. I'm like, you know what? Let me duck because I don't know what type of situation that kid got in, but these dudes are probably heated, and I don't want to get wrapped up in a situation. All of a sudden, when the other 3 came, they stopped next to the first guy. They all pulled out big bangers. I'm talking about the smallest thing I saw was probably a Glock or something like that. I'm talking about I saw 45s, Desert Eagles.
And you just had a flashlight on you.
Oh, no, this was in the daytime. This was in broad daylight.
No, I'm saying as a security guard, what you had on you? You was an armed guard or you just had a flashlight?
No, I was a flashlight guard. But the thing was, I didn't even have a flashlight because I was doing the day shift. Because
so you didn't even have that.
No.
Did they give you a whistle at least?
No whistles or nothing. I was just trying to act thorough. I'm like, you know what? I'm from Red Hook. You know what I'm saying? I know how to hold it down. You know, I got peoples in Brownsville. Hopefully, I'll see somebody I know. You know, so because I went to Grady High School. From Grady.
Oh, you went to Grady?
First, I went to Wyckoff Prep. From Wyckoff Prep, I went to Grady High School. From Grady, I transferred.
Grady's in Coney Island, right?
Grady's on Brighton 6 in Coney Island. Right across the street from Lincoln.
My brother played for Grady.
Word?
My brother played for Grady.
How old is your brother?
My brother's older than me, so you wasn't there.
Oh no. Cause everybody was on the board team, you know, it was all of my peoples, you know what I'm saying? Some was from Red Hook, some was from Flatbush, you know, some was from Crown Heights, from Brownsville, they was from everywhere. So
yeah, my brother's 10 years older than me, so you definitely wasn't there with him.
No, when I was there, Stephon Marbury was in Lincoln. He was in Lincoln, across the street. Yeah. So Lincoln would come across the street and play Grady, and Grady would come across the street and play Lincoln, and everybody would go to the games just to see Steph. Steph was the only one dunking in high school, left and right. Every play was a fast break. Boom, 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 boom.
His little cousin Sebastian was doing his thing
too. Sebastian was there doing his thing. Sebastian came after him, maybe.
Yeah, a couple of years after.
Steph's senior year, Sebastian was a freshman.
Yeah. So,
yeah, I remember Sebastian. I haven't heard about him in a long time.
Yeah, he's doing his thing.
Sebastian was doing his thing. A baller named Carl Sanders?
Nah.
Carl Sanders, he's from Red Hook. He's one of my boys too. When Grady, you don't remember when Grady won the championship? The high school.
What year was that?
This was like in 90, this was maybe 90, 95, 96.
I wasn't in America. Remember, I graduated college in 92, and then I was overseas playing basketball.
Oh, okay. So this was probably 96, 97 at the latest. But when they won the championship, the one who was the point guard and the one who won the last finger roll at end of the game, yeah, that's Carl Sanders. That's one of my homeboys. So, but he used to always, he was roommates with Ali Mo from the N1 tournaments.
Yeah.
So he was roommates with Ali Mo. So all right, I don't want to take up too much of your time. catching up on Brooklyn, because we could be here till tomorrow talking about Brooklyn.
That's a fact.
Yeah, you know how it is. We get too excited. We get hyped when we speak about Brooklyn. It just brings back a lot of memories. Oh, but just before I go, just for everybody that didn't know, speaking about Thurston Howard III, this was an era called the Low Lives, where this, like he said, this guy they started a crew that started stealing polo in New York City. Basically, it wasn't because they were thieves. It was because, you know what? They wanted to wear the stuff that the rich people were wearing. And they wanted the people in the hood to wear it too. So they would rob from the rich and bring it back to the hood, basically give it to the poor. So this is what got Brownsville wearing polo. From Brownsville, it went to Flatbush. From Flatbush, it went to Red Hook to all over Brooklyn. From Brooklyn, it went to Bronx, Manhattan, Staten Island. It became a New York thing, low lives. It was a low era. And because of this low life, low era, Thurston Howard III, this is the reason you know what polo is today. This is the reason everybody you know that's wearing polo is wearing polo today. Am I right, Mr. G?
That's a fact. And he went from stealing polo to being a polo brand ambassador inside polo magazines. I'm so proud of Vic, man. Salute to Thurston Howard.
You heard what Mr. G said. From stealing polo to being a brand ambassador for Ralph Lauren. He made Ralph Lauren so much money, and he's the reason Ralph Lauren is Ralph Lauren today. Because of that, Ralph Lauren knew about their whole history, and Ralph Lauren made him a brand ambassador, took him and made him a model for modeling shoots, and put him in ads and campaigns and so forth and so on.
That's a fact. I spoke to Victor about a couple of months ago. He's in Miami doing his thing. He's in Miami, actually in Orlando doing his thing, but he got Miami on lock. He was in New York a couple of weeks ago.
That's what's up. So look him up, my people. I suggest if you want to know about New York in the 80s and 90s, this is an era. This is, like I said, the reason you wear polo. Look up the Low Lives and look up Thurston Howard III. He got rap videos. He's an amazing rapper. He's talented, you know. We all started back in New York. We started graffiti. We were graffiti artists, break dancers, rappers, dancers, everything. I'm sure you did everything too, G.
Yo, my tag name was Veem. I used to hit the train yards before school. That's what I was telling my cousins last time. Everybody's tagging on Instagram and Twitter, want to see their posts. We used to go hit the trains up at nighttime and wake up before school and just wait for the 3 train to pass by to see our tags.
Mr. G.
So, salute to my boy Pose. Salute to Torch. Salute. I was Veem. All that when Beat Street and Breaking came out, a lot of our tags was there. So damn, you just bringing back mad memories, man.
Yeah, a few of my boys. Damn.
The first time I got caught by the cops, the first time I got fucked up by the cops was because I was tagging the train and I was too young to take the jail. So they beat my ass and sprayed my clothes up and then sent me home.
Oh, that was foul. That was foul.
That was normal back in the day.
No,
that was normal.
No, that was normal. One time, I was going to school in Fort Hamilton. I was going to, what do you call, what did they, night school, right? Night school.
Yeah, night school.
Fort Hamilton was popping, right? And this was like my first year of high school. I was just going to night school just cause, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And one day I got out of the night school. It was, and I got to the train station. You know how some of the train stations got the below platform, but the train comes and you got to go up to the top platform, just like on Livonia. But you can hang out by the token booth downstairs inside. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was a cold day. It was snowing outside. So I'm hanging out by the token booth. But mind you, everybody had train passes. I didn't qualify for a train pass at that time. So I paid for my fare, you know, at that time, whatever it was, $1.50, $1.25. You know,
you when I was going to school, it was 50 cents.
It might have been at this time, it might have been 75 cents. You know?
There you go.
Yeah, I'm talking about, like, you know, I'm giving you future pricing. right? It probably was like 75 cents.
Yeah,
So,
I was to say that sound kind of high for back then.
yeah, it is kind of high for back then. So when I got on the train, so the officer's like, everybody go upstairs. I don't want nobody hanging out here. It's too crowded. It's too crowded. So he starts sending everybody upstairs. Everybody upstairs. And I'm sitting down on the bench. He's like, yo, you too. Get up off the bench. Go upstairs. I'm like, officer, I paid my fare. I said, I said I didn't have a train pass. He said, I don't give a fuck. I want you to go upstairs right now. I said, officer, once again, I pay for my fare. And if I pay for my fare, I have a right and entitlement to be down here. I'm not going to go upstairs and freeze my ass off. He said, stand up. Let me see your ID. When I start pulling out my ID, he grabbed me by my neck, threw me on the gate. Boom, head first. Out, because I was going for my ID and I didn't expect it. So I'm like,
Welcome to Brooklyn.
welcome to Brooklyn. One of my best friends was running up to him, was like, what are you doing? Another officer grabbed his gun, was like, back up. So the officer,
Back then they was saying back up still. Now they just shooting.
so the officer, right, he grabbed me by the back of my neck, right? And he grabbed me by my arm. He said, you better not move. You better not move. I'm like, officer, what are you doing? Why are you doing this to me? I paid my fare. He said, shut up. You coming with me. Follow me. And I'm like, so I'm telling my boy, I'm like, yo, call up my parents. You know what I'm saying? Tell them, I'm getting locked up for no reason. Let my family know what's going on. He's like, don't worry about it. I got you. And he was following. And people were recording. It was like, don't do nothing to him, officer. We know him. That's our friend. Leave him alone. Because
They was recording back then already?
The phones at that time was like the first camera phone. Was it a video phone or camera? It might have been just camera. I don't know if it was. I don't know if it was.
Yeah, back then, if it's 75 cents for the there's no way they filming with phones. They probably have camcorders or some shit like that.
Yeah, this was Sprint phones. At this time, I was already. This was my first year in high school. This was already. Cell phones was already out. This was right before Boost Mobile. This was right.
Okay.
This was right before Boost Mobile. So the Sprint phones. No, matter of fact, there was one Sprint phone that had the camera. So there was one Sprint phone that had the video camera, right? And then, because I had that phone, in order for you to use the video camera on that phone, somebody else had to have the video camera phone. That was the first.
Yeah.
That was the first video camera phone Sprint came out with. That two people had to have the video camera phone in order for it to work. But I had it, and like 3 of my boys had it. Nobody else we knew had it for years. So we really didn't get the chance to really indulge in that type of platform. So that's what it was, just the regular phones. But I just know people was taking pictures. It's like, don't hit them, boom, boom, boom. We got you to the officers. So now, right, when the officer, he's putting me in the cop car. So for people that don't know, especially people from the South, I want you to clarify this with me, Mr. G, because people from the South, they swear they invented gold fronts, right? They swear. They call them grills. They're like, no, grills started in the South. Now, I would admit the term grills started in the South, but in the East Coast, we called it fronts.
Yeah, fronts.
We was wearing fronts. This was before there was a term grill. You was in New York City. You went to Green Acres Mall for $100. You got top and bottoms.
Facts.
Right?
Facts.
That was everybody.
That's a fact.
That was
and you could talk them down if you was with more than one person that was getting them.
No, not Green Acres Mall, right? Not Green Acres Mall, Jamaica Avenue, the Coliseum.
On Jamaica Avenue?
Yeah, the Coliseum.
No, but they had it in Green Acres too.
No, but right before Green Acres, where when you go to Queens, right where you catch the dollar bus to Green Acres, that's that mall over there on Jamaica Ave, the Coliseum.
That's where you get the fake Louis bags.
You used to get fake everything there, fake everything at the Coliseum, and that's where we used to go. $100, we got four on the top, 6 on the bottom. You know what I'm saying? and I believe it was back then. It was like they would tell you it's 14, but I believe it was 10 carat. You know what I'm
That
saying?
was 10 karat, because after a couple of years, it wasn't even gold no more. It was like brownish gold.
Yeah, there was because the gold was very, 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 very dark yellow gold. You know what I'm saying? I
They was cleaning them up with Windex back in the day.
cleaning up. That's true. People think he's lying. You would go into this place, give him your fronts. The guy would spray it with Windex, clean it up for
And
you,
wipe them down.
wipe it down, be like, yo, here, I buffed them out for you. You good to go. You would just throw them in.
$10.
$10. $10. Sometimes you'd be like, yo, bro, I only got 5. He'd be like, give me 6 and you good. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
You
So
give
I'm
him,
keeping them.
yeah, you give him $5.75 and you owe him a quarter. But but yeah, so we started the gold teeth. It was a New York thing. I don't want to hear grills. It started as fronts in New York. Everybody had them for $100 in the Coliseum. Point blank, period. Me, Mr. G, and everybody we knew. So so G, you said so people think, so if everybody would see you right now, they would say, where's Mr. G from? Is he Haitian? Is he from Africa? Is he Dominican?
Panamanian, Jamaican, all that.
Panamanian, Jamaican, or is he just from the South? So, Mr. G, to clarify your ethnicity, where are you from?
Garifuna. My moms and my pops are from Honduras. My pops came to America first, then my moms came. They had 3 of my brothers and a sister already. And me, my younger brother, and my older sister was born in Brooklyn.
So how many siblings do you have?
It's 7 of us, or it's 5 boys and 2 girls.
Wow, that's a lot.
So yes, and same mother, same father, all raised in the same house. So I always tell people I'm Garifuna, but where I was born and raised is Bronzeville, Brooklyn. I was born in Kings County Hospital, and I was raised in Riverdale Towers, right across the street from Tilden Projects. 3 train to Livonia Avenue. I went to Martin Luther King High School. So I took the 3 train to 72nd Street every day for 4 years.
Wow. Mr. G is 100% Brownsville. Point blank, period. There's no taking that from him. There's no getting around that. No going away from that. Mr. G is as Brownsville as it comes. Know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's a fact. And salute to all my brothers and sisters in Bronzeville, man. They doing a lot of great things. I'm actually filming a couple of web series there in Bronzeville. So I'm lending my services to the brothers out there. So they'll see me around.
Mr. G, so let's get back to what you were saying. What does Garifuna mean?
If you familiar with Honduras, a lot of people think that everybody in Honduras are white. But the black people from Honduras are Garifuna, and we're descendants of the Yoruba tribe from Africa, from Nigeria. So that's what Garifuna is my race, and actually it's actually a language that I speak as well. So my first language I ever spoke was Garifuna. My second language that I spoke is Spanish, and my third language I learned when I went to school is English.
So you speak Garifuna
fluently.
Woo!
Like for me to tell you how you doing in Garifuna, like good evening, Ita. Good evening. I would tell you Buiti Gunyong Ita Binya Aria Bule. That's how you doing this evening. And in Spanish is Buenas noches, ¿cómo está esta noche? In English, well, you already know. So I just wanted to tell you so that you can see that Spanish, cuando hablas español, is muy suave. It's real smooth. When you speak Garifuna, Rofuti Garifuna likundu yage la yabi wumage. So it's like they think that because we speak Spanish, that Garifuna is like a Spanish language, but it's nothing like it. It's like an African dialect.
That's crazy. And see, so everybody, Mr. G is Honduran, okay? He's a Honduran. He's a Garifuna. He's from the African indigenous tribes that descended down to Honduras. Now,
yes.
now you know, if we go back into indigenous ancestors, you know the first indigenous people were the were the Inca were the Inca warriors in Machu Picchu. This is
Mm-hmm.
this is why Afeni Shakur named Tupac Shakur after the Inca warrior Amaru Shakur.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because I mean Tupac Amaru, because
Mm-hmm.
she was into her indigenous culture, and she was one of those people that went back into her heritage and found out that back, if you go into like Pangea times, Central America Central America is on the outside, Africa is in the middle, and South America is on the right side. So it's like Central America left, Africa middle, South America right. So it's like all of these Americas were once a part of Africa. And the original indigenous people started on the mountaintops of Peru in Machu Picchu. And when Christopher Columbus came down with the conquistadors and they colonized Peru, and they took these Inca warriors from Machu Picchu, he took them back down to Europe. He took them. They moved. They went down. He enslaved them. Went to Africa. All the countries in Africa started migrating the Africans over there, and then from there to Central America. So, and then they went down to the Caribbean. So
It's so funny. It's so funny that you say that because in Honduras, the Mayans live amongst us too, and they lived at the mountaintops. When you go to the ruins of the Mayans, they on the top of the highest mountains there. So it's so funny that you say how everything started on the top.
yep, started on the top. Absolutely, the Mayas. Not only that, right? When Christopher Columbus, when he went and started, pillaging, the ruins of Machu Picchu with the conquistadors, they migrated down the Caribbeans, and they brought African slaves with them, the indigenous people from Peru, right? And when they landed in the Caribbean, the first place they landed was in Puerto Rico. These indigenous Indians that migrated down from Peru were called Taino Indians. Well, they were called the Arawaki, and then the Arawak Indians, they went to all parts of the Caribbean. They went to Jamaica. They went to
Honduras?
no, Jamaica, Haiti, Dominican Republic, Cuba, and Puerto Rico.
Well,
So
they got Arawak Indians in Honduras too.
yeah, because before they came down to the Caribbean, when Christopher Columbus started taking them back to Africa from Peru, they went to Africa, they migrated to Africa, and then when they started migrating from Africa, they started migrating down to Central America. And then once they were migrating to Africa and Central America, they started migrating down to the Caribbeans. So the Arawak went to Central America. The Arawak went to Africa, and then the Arawak went to the Caribbeans. And then the Arawaks that landed in the Caribbeans in Puerto Rico were called the Tainos, the Taino Indians. And then their tribes went to Dominican Republic, Haiti, Cuba, and Jamaica. So all of us, we all are the same bloodline in retrospect, you know?
That's a fact. Yo, but talk to me about what you want to talk today, cause I gotta get ready to get out of here, cause I'm actually going to California tomorrow. We closing up this deal that I want you to keep your fingers crossed for me. Tomorrow's the day we sign this contract with Netflix. So I'm so
Wow.
excited right now.
Is that
Um,
is that for the Dr. Sebi movie?
Yeah, yeah. Not Nick Cannon. There's another one we doing. Nick Cannon is doing his own documentary, and he doesn't need Netflix. But there's another one that we're doing. So we actually meeting in LA tomorrow, and I'm excited about that, man.
God bless, Mr. G. Fingers crossed for that for you. God
Yes,
bless.
sir. Yes, sir.
And everybody in the chat, everybody that's watching the show, and there's gonna be the show is gonna go viral. But not only that. So now, Mr. G, you're you have a book called the My Journey with Dr.Sebi, right?
Yeah.
So, all right, how did you meet Dr.Sebi?
I met Dr. Sebi in Honduras. My sister was going through something, and we needed. They was telling us to put her in hospice, that she wasn't going to live to see 2015,
Wow.
and here we was in October 2014. So, um, somebody, I was looking at different ways of healing. I didn't want to hear what Western medicine had to say, because they already told me my sister wasn't going to live. So I started YouTubing. I saw Dick Gregory, so many people that was about healing, and then Dr. Sebi name kept coming up. So I Googled Dr. Sebi name. When you know how when you mention somebody's name, you see the suggested video on the side. Dr. Sebi video, Eat to Live, was there. I clicked on it, and I heard this man say I could cure AIDS, herpes, blindness, lupus. And when he said lupus, that's what my sister had. So I was like, ah, man, he said he could cure lupus. I need to get to the bottom. I need to meet this man. And at the time, I was working with Wendy Williams. I was executive DP for behind the scenes. So I was Wendy Williams' personal videographer. Everywhere she went, I was. So
Wow.
I had.
That right there. Are you listening, my people? I just want to just grasp into that what Mr. G just said. At the time when he met Dr. Sebi, his sister was sick. He was you said a videographer and a producer for the Wendy Williams show?
Director of pictures, the DP's director of pictures. I was her personal videographer.
Personal videographer, executive director of pictures. That's what's up. That's what's up.
Hmm.
That's amazing.
Yeah, yeah. So I was doing that. So I was like, once I found this man, I was like, I gotta go to Honduras and meet him. So I flew to Honduras a couple of days later, and I was trying to get to him. Is a lot of this is in the book that I have, so you'll be able to read how I met him, what he told me when I met him. I mean, the brother was so deep. I was to this day, I'm so honored that I had the honor to travel with him and videotape his last 8 lectures in the United States. We traveled all over the United States, and it was my book basically talks about all the stuff that I seen behind the scenes and all of the stories that he told me.
So when you met Dr. Sebi for the first time, was it like a really spiritual, like a God moment?
No, not at all. When I met him, he had on all white. When I met him, he had on all white.
Hey, that's spiritual enough. That sounds like an angel right there.
Yeah, it did. But until he told me, you a bad motherfucker, I was like, oh shit. I was expecting him to be like Gandhi. He was sitting. He was he rolled the joint. It wasn't spiritual at all. He was like meeting somebody in Bronzeville.
Now, now it's funny, right? Because people, right? Sometimes, you know, people don't understand. They think Alkaline City. They think when you're in the alkaline community and you're an electric person, they think you soft and you a sucker. They
Nah,
don't.
far from that.
They don't understand. They don't understand the background where the person came from, right? So they want to misjudge, and then when they misjudge me, right, and they step on my toes, the rage comes out of me, and I'm not a nice guy when that happens, right? So people think that when this happens, they go, "Oh, you're not alkaline. You're not alkaline. Alkaline people don't do this," right? And my response is, first of all, if you think alkaline people don't have an attitude and won't flip out on you, then you never knew Dr. Sebi. What do you have to say about that?
No, that's a fact. I mean, is that alkalinity don't have anything to do with what kind of person you are. It's based on what you intake and what you eat. I know a lot of brothers that eat well, but will take your damn head off if you come at them wrong. So the whole is that people, they hear alkaline and they thinking somebody holier than thou, somebody that's not eating no meat. You don't have to eat meat to want to knock somebody out. I know a lot of mean people who eat better than Dr. Sebi did.
And
So yeah,
I'm sure you've seen Dr. Sebi go off on a lot of people a few times.
I only seen him go off on one person, and he said he gonna cut his damn head off.
And I'm quite sure when he went off, it wasn't a pretty sight.
Nah, the whole village could hear him going off.
That's what I'm trying to tell people. And then, and my response to that is, right, if if you eat alkaline, you should be catching an attitude with people. You should be getting upset, right? Because when you eat, right, when you put your body in this hormonal balance, right, this yin and yang, this 50-50 life cycle, this God balance, right? I call it the God balance, you know, because I say when you're acidic, I say that's the satanic balance, and I call alkalinity the God balance. You know, I say that's God's balance, and that's how He made man and Adam and Eve, and when Lucifer made, you know, demonization, that's when people started becoming acidic with disease. So I tell people, right, when you eat clean, right, and you have this God balance, that means that your body is natural. And if you're natural, emotion is natural. And if you get mad, if you get sad, if you get happy, if you get angry, then you have full alkaline emotion. And that's just my way to put it in retrospect. If I'm getting mad, then I'm fully alkaline. You know what I mean? If I'm happy, I'm fully alkaline. If I'm sad, if I'm not getting these, you know, type of emotions, then I lack, you know, alkalinity. So now, with that being said, so your sister went to Honduras. You met Dr. Sebi.
My sister never went to Honduras. The story is inside the book, brother. It's like I don't want to give too much of the book away.
Oh, so I don't want to give the book away. I do want people to go, and I want you to go to Mr. G's site. I want you to go to download this book. He has it on what places can people find your book? I know Amazon is one.
Yeah, Amazon. You can buy the book on Amazon, and if you want a signed copy of the book, you can go to myjourneywithdrsebi.com. That's my website, and I sign the book and send them out. So if you buy them from Amazon, you're still supporting the cause and you're still supporting me. So thank you for that. But if you buy them from My Journey with Dr. Sebi, those are the books that come directly from my office, and I sign all of those. So the people who bought, I get a lot of people who buy the book from Amazon and say, Mr. G, my book wasn't signed. I never see those books. I'll be happy to sign them for you guys when I see y'all, but the ones coming from Amazon, they steal from my account, but I never see those books until I see you guys. So myjourneywithdrsebi.com is where you can get the books that's leaving from my office.
And what I'm gonna do is I'm also at the end of this video, I'm gonna drop the links in the description so everybody can go and purchase your book from you. So now
I appreciate that, my brother.
Yeah, very welcome. Also, I wanna ask you, right? So you met Dr. Sebi, right? So now, you know, I'm quite sure, you know, your sister bought products and it started working for her and so forth and so on. So I'm quite
she never bought products. Dr. Sebi gave her the products.
Well,
that's what I'm saying. I don't want to give up.
I don't want to get into it. I'm just trying to give a quick synopsis. I'm quite sure your sister did some healing with Dr. Sebi, and that brought you to wanting to become even closer with Dr. Sebi because it opened your eyes to his healing.
When I saw what Dr. Sebi did for my sister, for my cousin, what he did for me, I spoke to Wendy Williams and her husband. And I'm like, yo, this man is making miracles. I'm going to chill out here in Honduras with him for a little while. And I traveled with him to 7. The last state was supposed to be Durham, North Carolina, but we didn't do that one. So we did seven cities in the United States.
7 cities. So now I've heard Wendy Williams getting into Dr. Sebi's products. Was that true?
100% true.
100% true. And that was all because Mr. G Aberlado introduced her and put her on to Dr. Sebi.
Yeah. Actually, Dr. Sebi saved her son. Like, that's in the book as well. this chapter in the book is called Mr. Webb. That's actually Wendy Williams' story with what Dr. Sebi did for her son.
Okay, and this is another question I want to ask because of this, right?
All right, bro. I got one more question left, and then I gotta get out of here. I
Now,
gotta get ready to head out.
I already know. I apologize, everybody. Mr. G is super important, and you
No,
know,
we gotta do a part two to this when I got more time.
yeah. And this
To
was a
this.
spur of the moment. This was him. He just came from a video right now. He just shot a video, and directly from his video shoot, you know what I mean, gave me the opportunity to be on my world premiere. So yeah, no, this is you know, before we close it out, just give me two more questions. They'll be really fast, brief.
Okay.
One question, Mr. G, right, is now you saw that Wendy Williams' son got healed and so forth and so on. You were seeing Dr. Sebi actually healing people. You were seeing people getting
100%. Yes.
okay, because that's a question because people say Dr. Sebi never healed nobody. Is there proof? Is there proof? And listen, this is coming out of the horse's mouth right now. Mr. G said 100% yes. Okay, and my last question for you, right, was through all of this experience, I hear that you wind up becoming like best friends with Dr. Sebi, and Dr. Sebi wanted you by his side at all times.
Yes. Well, okay. I'll give you one part of the book. Dr. Sebi, when I met him, he asked me. I asked him about. I asked him, can he heal my sister? He asked me, so you're not sick? And I said, no, sir. He said, so you here for somebody you love? I said, yes. He said, let me ask you something. Are you a Sagittarius? I was like, yes, sir. He said, I'm a Sagittarius. He said, is your mother a Pisces? I said, yes, sir, she is. No, I said, I believe she is. She was born March 15th. He said, that's a Pisces. My mother's a Pisces. He says, does your name start with an A and end with an O? Don't tell me that Mr. G shit. He said, my name is Alfredo. It starts with an A and it ends with an O. What's your real name? I said, my name is Aberlado. He said, it starts with an A and end with an O? I said, yes, sir, it does. He said, I've been waiting for you for 30 years. We got a lot of work to do. His grandmother told him that somebody whose name was going to start with an A and end with an O, but it wasn't going to be Alfredo, was going to come. And when that man come, he can trust him to work with him. So when he found out that it was me, he was retired for the last 10 years. He told me, people think I'm dead right now. That's why you don't see no videos of Dr. Sebi when he was young, getting older. You see young videos and then old videos. All the old videos, if you look at the corner, you're going to see Mr. G videos. That's me. The most recent videos you'll see of him, I was the one who had the pleasure of filming him. Nipsey Hussle hired me to do his documentary, and when he got killed, Nick Cannon took over the project, and then Nick Cannon hired me. So I'm honored and pleased to tell you that I'm one of the producers for Nick Cannon's Dr. Sebi story,
Now,
and I can't wait for you guys to see that.
now is Nick Cannon gonna drop that because Nick Cannon just converted into being a Jew?
Yes, he's definitely going to drop it. Whatever he converted, that's him. But the project is already done. He's just shopping it through the networks. And if you know Jews, if it makes sense, it make money. So he's going to definitely do it because he wants people to hear the story.
And you produced that whole film, that whole documentary.
I'm one of the producers. One of the producers. He had about maybe 6 producers. I'm one of them. I provided all of the Dr. Sebi footage that no one had. I had it, so that's I'm one of the producers of that.
You're one of the producers, but you're actually the producer. You know what I mean?
No, everybody did their part.
Oh,
so I don't want to seem cocky because Tia, Jordan, they had the research that was done to make this movie is impeccable. So I played my part, and I humbly say yes.
So the documentary is completely done, and it's ready to go.
Yeah, they just shopping it.
And it's gonna be amazing when people see it. It's gonna blow their heads off.
Yeah, definitely.
That's what's up, Mr. G. And listen, G, I want to say, Abelardo, I appreciate you, my brother. Gracias por todo. You know what I mean?
No hay de qué, hermano.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you coming out and taking your time out to do this and sharing this knowledge for the people, because the people needed this. You know, they needed this Dr. Sebi inspiration to like put a foot in their ass, you know what I mean? Just to give them a pep in their step, you know what I mean? Towards the right direction. And one more thing, tomorrow is my mom's birthday. G, can you please do me a happy birthday, Rosa, for my mom?
What's her name, Rosa?
Yes.
Rosa, es un placer desearte un feliz cumpleaños, hermana. Que Dios te bendiga con todo mi corazón. Te lo pido. Happy birthday, Rosa, la reina.
Wow, God bless. Ma, happy birthday, Ma. Mr. G just, you know, gave me the best birthday gift I could ever give you, mommy. And I love you. And Mr. G, we got to do this again. We're going to do a part 2, my brother.
Yes, sir. No doubt.
You know what I mean? Let me shoot it up for you. You know what I mean? Drop a bomb for Mr. G, everybody. We want to clap.
Right.
We want to clap it up. God bless. Mr. G came out. He conquered and he slayed. That being said, my people, we are out here. It's your boy Alkaline City with Truth Conspiracies. Like and follow for more, and I'm gonna catch you on the next one. You already know what it is, Mr. G. Peace.